Welcome to Weekly Action Central Extra. I'm Kendra Sheehan. Today's special guest joining is Tarleton State women's tennis player Noelia Lorca. Joining us from the Texans squad, the WAC tournament coming up in Arlington. I know this team is searching for a bid to the NCAA tournament. Take me through what this season has been like for you. It's your senior campaign, and you're certainly looking to go out with a win.
I know it was really hard, not gonna lie. Like I started the season really good, but then whenever when it was like every single match was coming, and then we're finishing one match, another one. It was getting closer to the end, and then when it started tougher, when it was like coach was reminding me every day, you have 5 matches left, and I'm like, yeah, I know, like you don't have to tell me every day, but like yeah, it was really hard. Just like since I'm here, I like started enjoying tennis again, and it's really hard to now, like I don't know how many matches, 4 or 5 we have left, is gonna end everything. So yeah, it's really tough.
You had just mentioned, I mean, you're just starting to enjoy tennis again. What made you kind of re-fall in love with the sport that, you picked up at a young age and stole your heart then?
I mean, coming to this university, honestly, coming here was like the best thing I could have done. Like coach was, when I was in the transfer portal, like I just thought like I don't want to go to like a big school or anything. I want to go to a school that the tennis is good, and also my like relationship with coach is gonna be really good, and it's how it is. Like my relationship with coach is amazing. With everyone here, everyone is just so nice. So honestly, how they treated me here, I don't think I could have gone to another place better. Honestly.
You mentioned Coach Eliane Myron Douglas. What is it about the way that she supports her players? I've talked to numerous tennis players who love playing under her, and just the energy that she brings to practice, and of course the tournaments as well. But what have you seen specifically in that relationship from her?
I mean, I just think it's a coach like really different from the others. Like I never had a coach that is this chill. Like whatever we need, she's there for us. Like if we need another day off, she will give us. She doesn't put us a lot of pressure, and she's really understandable. I think that having like a woman coach for us, for me, was super positive because it was the first woman coach that I had, and for me, I don't know, it was just another type of like relationship, like she was just super understandable. She knows what she has to do. She's been here for a lot of years, so she has all the experience. And yeah, every single people that graduates here loves it. So I was like, I'm not gonna have a bad choice if I go here, and that's exactly what I wanted. And yeah.
We're going to backtrack a little bit because you're originally from Spain. And so tell me first about the first time that you picked up a tennis racket and decided this is going to be the sport that I'm going to pursue.
So actually, in summer, where we have our summer like apartment, whatever, we have a paddle court right there, and I always see my parent, like my dad. Actually, my dad was always playing in that court, and at one point, I was just like looking at him, and I'm like watching him, and I'm like, I want to play this, and my dad is like, nah, you're not playing this. You're actually gonna play tennis. And I'm like, I was 5 years old. And I was like, okay, sir. Like, I wanted to play a sport with a racket. So I started playing tennis, and, I loved it. But, like, no one in my family ever played tennis. Like, I was the first generation that actually played tennis. So, yeah, because of my dad, I don't know. He didn't want me to play paddle. I don't know.
Was that the only sport? Was there any other sports that piqued your interest? Or once it was tennis, it was that was
No,
it?
actually, I never did any other sport. The only sport I did was tennis. And, I really committed to it.
So from Spain, you start your collegiate journey in Beaumont, Texas, playing for Lamar for 2 years. Tell me a little bit about that process in terms of, coming from Spain, whether it was you had to get an agent to find yourself in Beaumont.
Yeah, so when I wanted to come here to the US, COVID was really bad at that point. So a lot of like universities like cut their programs, and it was really tough. So I barely had options. I had like two or three, and like I knew a couple people from Lamar, and they told me like, come here. This place is fine. Like it's great, whatever. And I just got there. I was just scared. My parents were putting a lot of pressure on me because like I didn't have a lot of options, and it was like about time for me to leave. So my dad and my mom just told me like, Noelia, just commit to this university and like you will be fine. And that's exactly what I did. With COVID, everything was so scary, and it was just a huge mess because we didn't know what was gonna happen. So yeah, I just went there and spent 2 years and come here.
And Spain and Beaumont and now Stephenville, I imagine, are different. Maybe Stephenville and Beaumont are similar, but what was the biggest difference between coming to Texas and back home where you grew up?
I mean, probably my family. I don't have anyone here, and the only relationship I have here was my coaches, my teammates, classmates, whatever. So probably that support from home. Also, food. Times also are really different here. We eat there at like 2 3 p.m. Lunch here is at 12. So for me, it was really hard because I was eating too soon, and then at night I was just starving. Like for me, that was really hard. And yeah, but more than that, I mean, the cities also here, they are like in general, like I don't know, it's just different. Like roads, cities, I don't know, like people in general too, it's just different. I mean, the culture too, the language is huge. But
Did you speak a lot of English when you first came over here, or was that another hurdle that you had to?
actually no, actually my English was pretty bad. Like it was pretty bad. It was. I remember I couldn't pass the test when I was coming here, like the English test, and it was far. That was really like, stressful. I was like, I mean, I'm not gonna be able to get my test on time, So I'm just gonna have to go in January. But no, I got them, and yeah, but yeah, my English was a big difficulty. Not gonna lie.
I always think it's so impressive when you're an international player and you're coming to the United States and you don't speak any English and you got to dive into the school coursework and you're in just a completely different culture, and I imagine the team and everything was a huge part of making you feel at home. How much has your team in Stephenville embodied that home feel for you, especially with so many international players on the roster?
I mean, it feels like home, not gonna lie. Like everyone has almost the same culture, almost the same like things. Like I don't know, it's just not weird, Like when I was at the other school, they were like couple American, so like like the other international, we were like but here everyone is international, so everyone understand what you're talking about. Everyone feel the same way how you feel. Like sometimes you feel sad, whatever, you miss your family, but then you think like, well, all my teammates are in the same situation. So it's, I don't know. I think it's like it helped me a lot because I can talk to them and they can talk to me and they can also think the same and feel the same. So yeah, it's pretty good. Not gonna lie, it's pretty good.
Have you gotten also a chance to learn about a bunch of different cultures as well? I
Yeah,
imagine it'd be kind of cool if you guys had a night where each of you cooked a dish from your hometown. Has that
yeah,
happened
yeah,
at all?
yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah. Many times, many times.
What is the dish that you're cooking?
Spanish omelette.
Okay,
That's a go-to. You cannot miss with that one. It's just easy to make, good food, and like.
sounds pretty good actually, as it's breakfast time here.
Yeah, I wish.
Looking at just the end of this season, where do you feel like your game is at in terms of leading up to the WAC tournament and trying to set your team up with the best chances of succeeding and doing what you need to do on your own individual court to help add to that team victory?
I mean, I think my tennis right now is pretty good. Sometimes it's really tough mentally because it's like you don't want to end, you don't want to finish this, but like my game is pretty good. I'm pretty confident in our team. Everyone is fighting so much, is playing their best tennis. So I'm actually really confident and looking for like to play the tournament. I think we are a pretty good team, pretty solid, pretty tough, and I think that we actually have a lot of chances to do a really good decision.
And What's been the mindset or the message from coach as you do approach this final tournament?
I mean, she's always telling me to play my tennis, to not that like to give 100% in the court, to not lose like or not like stop trying because I'm gonna regret. Something like that happened to her too, and she told me like, Noelia, like I'm been through this, and I know it's really hard, so you have to like enjoy every single time. And enjoy every single time you go to practice, you play a match, you go even to the weight room because at the end you will miss it, and that's exactly what I'm doing. But at the same time, it's putting me a lot of pressure. Like it's my last times. But yeah, honestly, she's really chill. She's really understandable with me. She knows that it's tough for me, like mentally. That I don't wanna finish this like now, like. So yeah, basically she's just supporting me a lot, and she's telling me like, Noelia, try to enjoy the last times you're gonna have here because if not, you're gonna regret in a future. And that's exactly what I'm doing.
Awesome. Well, we're wishing you the best of luck. Noelia Lorca from Tarleton State Women's Tennis. You can catch the WAC tournament April 17th through the 19th at the UT Arlington Tennis Facility. Thank you so much for spending some time with me.
Thank you.